Hi everyone, welcome to another makeup collection slash maybe a declutter, let's see, of my eyeshadow palettes. These are all my pre-made eyeshadow palettes. I have a lot of single eyeshadows, as you know, and those I still need to find the mental courage, the guts to actually go through them and declutter some. But first of all, we're going to go through my pre-made eyeshadow palettes, and I think that will already give us a little bit of breathing space. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. I have a lot of makeup, but I like to use it, and yeah, we talk about makeup and skincare and all things beauty on this channel. I hope you'll stay, and let's just get into it. I'm gonna start with this one because it's the most unsafe one. This is the Natasha the Nona Gold palette, and I'm keeping it. Yeah, I bought it on sale a year or two ago, and I like it. I don't use it as much as I should, but I like it. It's slightly underwhelming in terms of blues or teals, but these special shades are super pretty. As you can see, they're also the most used, and the mattes are just staples. Really great palette. I heard it's being discontinued, so I would recommend you grab it if you have the budget for it. It's a very nice palette. Next up, something newer to my collection, which is also definitely staying, is the Lorac Pro Noir. These are the new Lorac Pro palettes, and I'm liking it. It's a very simple, basic, everyday eyeshadow palette with a few special, more chunky textured shades, and you can go easily, like day to night, nice smoky eyes. I don't know, I like it. I'm not gonna get rid of it, obviously. Next up, let's do Colourpop. The Child palette, I love it. I'm not gonna touch it. And this is what it looks like. I love it. This one I don't love. This is a matte with glitter. But for the rest, they're really nice, and definitely keeping that one. Then I have a few here that are actually not complete because I have done a little bit of a, what is it called, Frankenstein palette, which is down here in It's a Mood casing, with some of my Colourpop palettes that I was not using very much. So here are, this is the Going Coconuts palette with a few shades missing. Now, I wanted to declutter these, but decided to give them a go in the big palette before I did that because, yeah, some of the shades were really good. So I have these shades in that one, and I hope to be getting more use. So for now, these go in a drawer. Same story with the Wild Child. I also didn't touch it since I bought it. I mean, I bought it, I used it some, and then I stopped. And main issue was Fierce came broken, so I had to repress it down, and it's kind of flaky. And Lashes is a pressed glitter. But this is a, that was an Italian intercalation, sorry. This is a matte with glitter that I don't care for. So like a few of the shades are not my favorites, but I have cannibalized this in my big Colourpop palette that you'll see later. It's underneath everything, literally. Same with the Good Sport. I was never using it, but look at how many shades I pulled out. These are the rest. What is left is just shades I don't like, or for example, these two, I do like them, but they're already present in the It's a Mood, so I left them in here. This one I'm not gonna get rid of, I don't think, ever, even when I get through with the other one. And finally, Dream Street, the collaboration with Kathleen Lights. I hadn't used it for a long time, so I decided to use to take out pans and put them in the other palette and see if I could use them more. And it seems to be working, so that one is also staying as a placeholder. Something that is gonna go, finally, is Soft Glam. And she's been loved. She was my, this palette was my go-to day-to-day, and every time I look at it, it's even prettier. But I haven't used it in a long time. I have other neutrals that I like, and there's metallic shades that I like more, so I'm gonna declutter this one, see if someone wants to take it over and give it another round. From Glam shop, I haven't used these in so long. This is the Camo Palette, and it has some beautiful, beautiful shimmers. These are both of their marble formula, which is not my favorite, I must say. in the sense that it's really, really chunky, but the effect on the eyes is unbelievable. Like, both of these are incredible. I didn't want to swatch all the shades, all the palettes, but I mean, these are incredible. But you need to be careful on how you use them. And that's why I'm not a super big fan. And I don't love their mattes. They're just quite powdery and grayish, like desaturated colors, and they're not my favorite. So I haven't been using this palette a lot. Now the option is, do I declutter it, or do I depot it and keep the shimmers? This one I bought myself, and literally just for the shimmers. Yeah, that one is not interesting. This one is a duochrome with a little bit of shimmer, but not particularly interesting to me. Honestly, I'm only here for that shade. And this one. Okay, these two. I'll need to check if these are dupable in my collection. Otherwise, I will declutter this one as well, because I never use it. Same story with the Burgundy palette. This was gifted to me by the brand. Beautiful. These matte worked really well for me. It's just not my color story. It reminds me a lot of, what is it called? Modern Renaissance, which I decluttered some time ago. And these shimmers are super beautiful. This duochrome here has a beautiful deep red base. I really like it. The only thing I can say is maybe it leans a little bit too pink and cranberry for me. And I think this one is a duochrome, isn't it? Like a pinky duochrome. Yeah, so this one is definitely going, not my color story. This one I'm gonna declutter. This is the green palette, and here we have a lot of very interesting shimmers that I'm definitely gonna keep. So definitely Monstera and Nectar are my two favorites. I also love this neon lime green. It's somewhere in between a lime green and a yellow, I guess. But I mean, these are spectacular. Just really, really beautiful. These two especially. This one right here I never got really to do much for me. It kind of is a little bit hard to pick up and not very pigmented, so it shears out a little bit too much for my liking. And this is a nice forest green, and this is a nice inner corner highlight, let's say. So I'm keeping this one. I like the color story. It's quite unique to my collection. The yellow palette right here, this one I've always commented that it's missing a dark deepening shade, because the only mattes you get are these two, and they're just not deep enough to construct a full makeup look. However, these shimmer, I mean, this yellow is incredible. Incredible. And I think I'm gonna keep it, just because I love yellow eyeshadow, and I use this this one much more than the others. My melt eyeshadow palettes, I don't use these a lot, especially radioactive I don't use a lot, but I want to have a neon option, and so I'm gonna keep it. The Smoke Sessions, I have already swapped out some of the shades for ones, these two especially, from the Into the Gemini palette, and it's been like this for a while, but I really love it. Love these deep shades. Yeah, I like the palette. I'm keeping it. Same goes for Gemini and Rust, which are actually favorites. This one has a beautiful color story. The mattes work really well. The shimmers are nothing special, but I use the mattes, and then the shimmers just, I use something else. And Gemini has also some beautiful, beautiful mattes. Here you see the two shimmers from Smoke Sessions right here, because they have the imprint of the weed leaf. I love this palette. Definitely keeping all of those. Here I have the Dose of Colors Frantication palette, and I just took it out for a throwback makeup look, and I still really love it. But honestly, I don't use it. So if someone wants it, I think I'm gonna part with it. I love the shades. I love the mattes in here. I love the texture, especially this one right here. It's a really great palette, but I just never reach for it. So I think I should part with it to make space for other things that I like more, or that I use more now. It's a bit sad, but I'm gonna get rid of this one, decluttering this one. The Nabla Dreamy 2 palette, I actually find myself still using, especially for these two, oh hello, me, makeup less me. Especially for these two liquid, what are they called, latex matte. Dionysus and Offline, and I really like Amarcord and Libertine as well. This is a winter palette for me. I use it and I like it, so I'm keeping it. Next up, the Lorac Cali palette. I haven't touched it in a year, so this one is going to be decluttered because as much as I love the glitters they have in here and the shimmers and the mattes are really good, I just don't use it. So it's pointless for me to keep it with the idea that I will use it in the future. The NARS Climax palette is new to my collection from this year, definitely staying. I mean, it's literally a month old maybe, not even. And yeah, I really like it, so it's staying. I realized I had some small palettes in a different drawer, so let's go through those. This is the Lorac, what is it called? Toxic Face Glitter palette. Toxic Face Glitter? Anyways, it's a glitter palette with a base. I really like the base, it works well, but I don't use glitter on my eyes, so this can go. I will declutter it. I have my 3 mini Natasha the Nona palettes. I'm keeping all of them. They're really handy for traveling, or if I'm in a pinch, or if I'm staying over at my in-laws. It's really quick makeup that I like, so I'm keeping all of these. And these guys, I have not used them much, I have to say. So this is the Nabla Metropolitan Cutie palette. Gorgeous shades, especially this Dissolution one. I hate this coral, and I wish it was a more medium transit or lighter transition shade to go with this. Unfortunately, it isn't. I don't know the last time I used it, to be honest. I don't know the last time I used it. Look at how beautiful that is. It's so, so shiny. Should I give them another shot? I don't know though, because I don't know. I'll put them in a maybe pile. The Coral Cutie, again, gorgeous, and especially this special shade, the crystal shade in Mandarin. It's a beautiful for spring. It's a little bit of a very light Mandarin base with an incredible shine, and this red is, oh, stunning. Usually it's stunning. It's a beautiful red, more satiny shade, but put that shimmer on top, that glittery shade on top, and it's gorgeous. Coral Amber is also beautiful. I like this, except for this pink. I like this, so I'm gonna keep it. And the Platinum palette I'm keeping as well, because it has some super special textures right here, and it's a very nice cool tone palette. It reminds me a little bit of the Lorac Noir now that I see it, but a condensed version, so I am keeping this one. And from Nabla, I also have this glitter palette, and to be honest, I don't know. As you can see, it's barely touched. I still have the plastic in there. It's pretty much new, my god. The problem is that I don't wear glitter. I find it very chunky and difficult to remove, and nowadays I just go to work and there's no parties, there's no fancy going anywhere, so I don't really use glitter. I use sparkly eyeshadow, but not glitter. I have a sneaky suspicion that now with the holidays I would want to wear glitter, but honestly, where am I going? At my in-laws, and nobody will wear makeup, so I'm gonna declutter this one with a heavy heart because I think I used it twice. Here is the Colourpop palette that I was talking about that I made recently. I'll link the video here, and it has a mixture of, it's a mood shades and then some of the other palettes that I showed you. I'm keeping this one for now. It's new. I've been actually enjoying using it. Yeah, it's quite nice. I can do everyday looks and a little bit more special looks, colorful ones, and I love the burgundies in here. I've used them recently, and the greens are great, typical Alice shades, and I can go really neutral, a little bit cool toned as well. I've been liking this one. I'm happy with my mix that I made right here. Let's bring these guys in. By Mcgrath then. This is the Blitz Astral Quad Nocturnal Nirvana, and I am keeping this one. This reminds me that I didn't tell you at the beginning. I actually will do a video where I discuss all the items that I decluttered without it being on camera, just during the year, because I had another quad, Iconic Elimination, which I decluttered and sold because I wasn't using it. I literally used it once. But this one is so special that I want to keep it. There is this duochrome green to purple that is gorgeous. There is this beautiful tealy blue, and they're just really, really special shades. These are the quads that I want to see from from Pat McGrath. Wow, my swatching has not gotten any better. But these are the quads I want to see from Pat McGrath. Very special shades with weird colors or just special textures. I should use it, but for now I just still love the color story, so I'm keeping it. We might end up here in 6 months and I haven't used it. So that is also an option, as you may know. Then my two big Pat McGrath palettes are Divine Rose 2. Love it, especially these special shades, not the multichrome. I don't like the multichrome because it's a pink on my eyes, and then yeah, now you see it green, but if I hold it to the camera, it is pink, and that's what it looks like on my eyes, and I don't like it. I love the green flash to it, but I don't like the pink on my eyes. I love this shade so much, and overall it's a palette that I use in the spring. So I'm gonna keep that one for now. And same with, what is your name? This is Bronze Seduction, and I like it. I actually opened this palette to use these 3 special shades, so I'm gonna keep it. It's now bringing up a little bit of a question mark about this one though, because nah, it's different enough. I was thinking of the shimmery red, because I actually think the Pat McGrath one is more pretty than the one in the Nabla palette. Mainly because the one in the Nabla palette is a satin, but it's warmer, which is also nice. I'm keeping this one as well. And if you're asking where Celestial Odyssey is, this year's holiday palette that I did a video on recently, I sold that one because the color story was just confusing to me. Too much pink, only 2 brown mattes and 2 pink mattes, and those 2 pink mattes were too similar to each other, so I just didn't want it. It was just quite a disappointment in terms of the color story, but it was a good quality palette, I think. Not for that price. If you got it on sale for $50, that was a price that I was up for it, but I paid for it at launch, and that was not fun. By Beauty Bay, I have the Age of Opulence palette, which is quite new to me, and I've used a little bit of all shades, but not a lot, and now I want to use it. It looks so gorgeous. Definitely keeping that one, and I'm keeping also the Wilderness palette. How fun is it that they're back, by the way, that it's back in stock and it seems to be permanent. Beautiful color story, very me and colorful, and I just need to use it more. Kind of the story of this whole video, I guess. Oh, one more Colourpop palette that I have is this guy right here, the collaboration with Raw Beauty Christie. It's at Forest Sight. It's a beautiful palette. The mattes really speak to me. They're my colors. This one is like a very dark brown, maybe even black with some glitter particles in it. I don't see the glitter particles. I would have wished it was just a matte, but that's okay. And nothing, I like it. I wish these shimmers were more special, but so is life, so I'm keeping that one. And finally, my Natasha the Nona big palettes. Look at this, ta-da, it's empty. I depotted my Bronze and Metropolis palette to make this eyeshadow palette that was this summer to go on holiday, and then I kept it because I like it, the color story that I made so much. So I'm keeping both of them, of course, because I like them, but especially this setup is what I like the most. And in this palette right here, I have the rest. And I don't want to put them back in the Metropolis palette because I don't know actually why, but because to me then I have to re-pull them out if I want to rearrange it and put it back to its original state. And yeah, I get some damage in the pans when I pull it out with a magnet, so I don't want to. But what I should do is actually make a new version for the winter maybe, because in winter these shades and more golds would definitely be something I'd like, compared to like maybe I would wear less of these warm browns and more greens and blues. It's a thought, but again, I don't want to pull it all out because I end up digging into the pans, which is really sad. But yeah, I'm keeping these two as well. And that is the end of my makeup collection. Actually, sorry, what am I saying? This is the end of my eyeshadow palette collection. These are the palettes I'm decluttering. It's not a lot, but yeah, I knew that already. I also, as I said, decluttered through the year because I just feel like it. And these two are maybes that I'm gonna keep out to use and decide what to do with, because if I find myself using them, then it makes sense to keep them, otherwise not. And these you will see probably on my Instagram or on Vinted for sale. And whereas the burgundy one, because it was a PR sample, this one will be gifted to a friend or someone I know. Because I don't sell PR. Well, wow. This is it. I hope you enjoyed this video. We actually went quicker than I expected. I thought we were gonna be here for 45 minutes or an hour like I did for the lipstick declutter. Let me know what your thoughts are. Would you have kept the palettes that I decluttered, or would you have decluttered more? I'm curious to hear. And give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!